don't do this. And I say, you don't have home training, blah, 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 black sheep. But these criticisms that often come to some as insults, are they justified? That's my big question this morning. As always, turn down the volume of your radio set. Refrain from making derogatory or defamatory comments. Didn't see or hear, would encourage you not to make mention of it. And very importantly, keep your conversations civil. AKA, don't start a fight. Don't insult anybody.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk. With Jude on 92.3 Nigeriainfo.
017-923-0002, 017-923-0007. WhatsApp 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. At Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH. What exactly is the problem with criticism? Why are they seen as insults? And even if you were to insult, I don't know, your local government chairman, Jude, for example, or you were to insult, I don't know, the governor, the president, what exactly is the challenge there? Why is there so much fear, particularly amongst African leaders and leadership, about what to say and how to say those things to them? Talking about the leaders. Yes. 9.3. Hello, Potako. Good morning to you, please.
Thank you, Brother Jude.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Yes. In sociology, we have constructive criticism and destructive criticism.
True.
So when somebody becomes a leader and it does not perform well, and he does not attend to the needs of people the way the people want it to be, they have their social rights. They have their legitimate rights. They have their legal rights.
Okay.
To criticize either the president or governor or chairman or whosoever that is on the position of authority.
Yeah.
Constructively to tell the person that is not doing the right thing.
Constructively.
I'm concluding, Brother Jude.
Okay.
No human being that is Almighty God. Every human being is mortal. Mortal. M-O-R-T-A-L. Mortal.
That means they can die.
So there's no one that will say that he's too big or bigger than another person. Thank you.
All right. So we're all mortal. No one is bigger than the other. And so you should take constructive criticism.
The show continues.
to you in particular. You are African, particularly you who are listening to us from the immediate vicinity of Port Harcourt. Yes, those of you who are online, and that's by the way, you can also follow this conversation online, facebook.com/NigeriaInfoPH. The same thing with X, former Twitter.com/NigeriaInfoPH. Conversely, you can just put on in your browser, type in your browser www.nigeriainfo.fm. Boom. You got to choose any of the studios you like to listen to. Or alternatively, just download the app. All right? Get to your Play Store, your Google Store, and, have it done. You can follow us anywhere. Now, we're talking about insults. And for those of you who are just joining us, let me, for the sake of you, get to the definition one more time. An insult is an expression, statement, or behavior that is often deliberately disrespectful, offensive, scornful, or derogatory towards an individual or group. You see, as humans, particularly as Africans, we are very good at insulting each other. Let me give you an example of an insulting action. You know, when a guy is offended, a guy is dating a girl, or a man or a woman, they're together, or girls are together, right? The African woman has a very serious ability to insult you with her actions. The guy says hello, saying, I mean the greets. I beg. I beg. I want to talk to people when they are mad, they smell. Or sometimes, and we do this very well, you come into a group and maybe the group don't like you and they want to be insulted. But once again, these are actions. You see, as you sit down, they all stand up, or maybe they dust it. This happens all over the world. Racism is another reason why some of these things happen. The idea is to belittle you. The idea is to tell you, we don't want you. The idea is to tell you that, I don't value you, right? Yeah, to insult them. That's one way. Expressions are always, a good way I'm talking about verbal expressions, right? A good way to let the other person know, you're not welcome here. Yes, they want to offend you, sometimes to humiliate you. We'll see this a lot of the times within the political structure, whether it's within the party or outside the party. They're always throwing jabs. PDP throws a jab here, boom, APC dodges, boom, YPP picks it up, boom. There are sticks and stones all over the place, verbally that is. There's always some insulting or incriminating comment being thrown around. We're very good at that. Now, having said that, right, there is a borderline. And one of the hallmarks of a decent, of a gentle person is the ability to carry out a conversation constructively. But we live in a time where criticism is often, mistaken for insult. And then again, once again, let me ask, what if you really insult your elected official? It's not really a crime now, is it? Or is it? I'm sure maybe our legal, backers there, those of you who are lawyers and the law, learned, gentle people, will probably give you more insight. But I have in front of me a list of some countries where it is not a crime to insult your head of state, your public official. Not a crime. Insult them. Not a crime. Why? You can insult them. Germany, for example, insult away. Who are they? You elected them. They're your subordinates. Insult them. Yes. Italy, the same thing. Insult them. Yes, you can. Moldova, you can insult them. Luxembourg, you can insult them. Norway, you can insult your elected official. Portugal, you can insult your elected official. You can even insult your head of state. You can do that. Nobody's stopping you. But there are countries where you can't. But whether you're insulting or you are having a constructive comment, a criticism of their opinions or their actions is the borderline here. So as Africans, the criticisms that we've been having about our leaders, let's say in the past 2 decades, is it being fair? One president, once said, I am the most insulted president. You by insulting me, no problem. Or have you criticized them enough? Whether they are Ghanaians, Sierra Leoneans, Ugandans. Hello, Ugandan brothers.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
Well, Zion's on the line from GRA. JJ is waiting for us from Port Harcourt Town. Zion, go on, please. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning to you.
Good morning. Welcome, please.
It's an interesting discourse you brought, and I like it. But that to do with us personally, individually. Now, some people perceive criticism as insult because of low self-esteem. Low self-esteem. That is why they see criticism. Why are you insulting me? No, it's not an insult. Although there is a tiny line between criticism and insult. Don't forget that. Mr. Zion, you talk too much on radio. You don't get work with you do. That is an insult, though. Mr. Zion, talk on radio. 2 minutes might be okay. Don't go beyond 2 minutes. That is criticism. Are you with me? Did you see the difference? One is an insult because you are talking to my sensitivity. The other one, you are asking me to minimize the concept of the discourse so that we don't invoke the doctrine of regurgitation, diminished return. If you listen to some of our calls, they get to that point of diminished return, which means what they have said before, they come back to say it again. Because of what? You give them too much time. But with few minutes, criticism helps you grow. Okay, let me use me. It helps me, Mr. Zion, grow. That is why on this program, on this topic, I will give the credit to my mom and my wife, who have been so critical with me and in this mission. Don't forget, they are my cheerleaders. They criticize me carefully. I have no defense. Oh, it is the presenter that engaged me. Sorry, it's the presenter that engaged Mr. Zion. That was why I went beyond the 2 minutes. It's my wife defending me now. The truth is this. When you close that ego in you, that pride in you, nobody can talk to me, nobody. Criticism, you can't accept it. So the premise of criticism is to help you grow. But we should be very careful as we criticize people so that we don't end up insulting them.
Okay, so Zion, I need to go to JJ now. Do you think Africans and African people have been fair in their criticism of their government?
We have not criticized our government yet.
JJ, what say you? Are you critical of your government? Are you telling them what you need to hear or what they need to hear all the time?
Jude, how many of our leaders at the, how will I put it now, the federal level that are complaining right now, like you talked about Jonathan, have boarded bus, taxi to get the feel of the people? How many? So when you that have boarded keke and you raise the conversation, oh boy, how you see this now? It was not good though. And when you see it on radio or social media everywhere, they're not insulting the government. Most of the things they call abuse is just out of this world. I was somewhere around Alabama, right?
Okay.
I was just taking one or two when I was still in the world anyway. And somebody came and said, this Nigeria now. You know what the guy introduced me to said? He said, when they insult our waiting. I don't insult people. You can testify to that. I can criticize based on what you're not doing so that you can go back to the drawing board and say, look, this thing, I'm supposed to do it this way. But because there's a disconnect and you expect everybody to be quiet. No, people cannot be quiet now. You increase price of petrol. The refineries are not working. And you said, people should not talk. The money when I tell you the refinery not be our own. Don't you have a right to ask? The money you've been pumping you don't have a chance to go to, maybe you buy land and somebody is building, and you send me money to build house for you, right? And the period you gave me to finish the house, and you have sent all the money, even more than the money I needed for the house, you are not seeing house. And you asked me to say, JJ, I hope you are not stealing my money. You say, I've insulted you. Is that an insult? When the input and the output are not together, is that supposed to be an insult? So how did they insult the president then when he said he's the most insulted president? Boko Haram are killing our people. Stop them. Or stop behaving like this. Is that an insult? The people who elected you, they have a right to ask you questions. So what is the insult all about for president? Then you now want World Cup and tell people you are the most insulted president. How? Are you ready? Those things they are attacking you to criticize you for. Are you ready to change them, or you think it's an illusion? Is it not the same person that told you when they said that people were kidnapped from their school, the Chibok girls? He said it took him 2 weeks to realize that. And you said people should not talk. Go out there. In those days, see governors, see president, come out, enter bus, hear what they are saying, and get the feels of the people.
Okay, so now, interesting, JJ. You see that narrative. You know, we usually see these things during the election. We have Muriel. Muriel, please just give us a minute or two. We'll get to you shortly. You know, we see this during the election. They go around, they're frying gari, they're entering the buses with you, and all the. They do that a lot. But
all the enemies that are supposed to kill them have been casted away.
Fine. So here it comes. Here it comes the big one. In modern day Africa, particularly in the past 2 decades, JJ, do you think the people have been critical? Have they been fair in the criticisms of their leaders? You know,
yes, they are very fair because they are so practical right now. Not good, they're not good now. Is there any way, any other way? You talked about the cornerstone. My governor is fixing cornerstone now. Some other areas you talked about. Is it not a government too? If not, maybe for your child, would you have been aware? These are the issues. So listen to the people. No matter how they say it, because over time, people say, call the vet, temper go flare.
Okay.
Thank you.
Muriel is now cricket. Muriel, good morning to you. Welcome.
Hi, Jude. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome, please.
Thank you. Look, Jude, I think there's a thin line between criticizing our leaders and insult. You know, and don't forget that these are leaders and mostly our elders.
Okay.
You know? And trust me, the mentality of the African elder, you know, is so. There's a way square they be that when you want to correct them, they just believe that you're a child. How can you tell an elder what to do? You know? An elder is always in the right position to correct you. If you dare try to correct an elder, you're insulting that elder. There was a conversation you brought up last week, and I said, look, most times when you want to tell an elder that he's wrong, he will turn it around. You know, you are insulting me, and I don't see have parents, you know, in your duty. No. Dude, I think you should insist. That's what just like I said last time, you should insist. Tell them what is wrong, that this thing is wrong, whether they like it or not. Whether they like it or not, because if you don't say it, trust me, they know that this is they're doing are wrong, and they will just be staying on the wrong path.
But what if they don't know? What if they don't know, Muriel? What if they don't know? Because there have been cases where leaders have said, this road is a road that will lead us to the plantain paradise. Let us keep walking. Meanwhile, Muriel has found out that if you go on the left, we will get to that plantation early enough. I will not meet bad people. But the leader, because he has gone there 3 or 4 times, he will keep telling you, this is the only road to the plantation.
That's why I said you shouldn't see on your stand, especially when you know you're right. Now, when you use this plantation narrative, it's so clear. This is a path that you have walked before, or you know ahead of time. You ask, you talk to people that have passed that route, and they are telling you that this or that route, you're going to lead also a street that will get even cross. Meanwhile, this or that route is the right path, and the leader is doubly insisting that no, because I'm an elder, I'm as your senior, you cannot not be beyond me. Look, insist. Live. You can even detach from that elder and move your path. Insist when you're wrong. Insist on that. Know that you're not insulting him. You know the difference between him, so you're not abusing him. Insist that it is wrong. You know, sometimes they go back and sit down and know that true. This much correct things. And maybe outside, maybe they might not accept it in front when you're doing it in public, but when you do it constantly, maybe despite other people that they say, you shouldn't have said it in front of others now. You're right.
Okay.
But they will always come to their reasons. Most times, but there are some that are too doggedly stubborn. They will not, whether you like it or not, they are right. But we keep insisting. We must criticize, otherwise society will not change. Thank you.
All right, we must criticize, if not, society will not change. Comments there from Muriel in Okrika. Stephen is on the line from Ada George. Stephen, good morning. Welcome to the conversation.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Stephen. Welcome.
Oh, sorry. Hello?
Yes, go on. Stephen from Ada George, go on, please. We can hear you. Go on.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. You had a very interesting night yesterday, it seems, because he kept saying good evening. Stevie, please do call back. I would love to get to hear from you this morning. All right. Now, this one here says, I don't think we criticize leaders in this part of this world, though. What we do is to lambast them with insults. That's why before Nigeriainfo opened the phone lines, they will first beg Nigerians, don't insult the people in power. In saying climbs, what we see is constructive criticisms. There, they will tell you what you are not doing right and how you should do it. But here, they will criticize the hell out of you. I also think that the way we were brought up in Africa to respect elders also contributes to leaders seeing criticism as insults. Just like your child telling you, the father, how to spend money. You will see this as an insult. Ernest from Woji. Ernest, thank you very much. Now, more messages on WhatsApp, 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416. Good morning, Jude. See, criticism is often seen as insults because people tend to take negative feedback personally, and it can be hurtful to hear that we are not doing something right. This is partly due to human nature, where we are more prone to focus on the negative aspects rather than the positive. Additionally, some individuals might criticize others to make themselves feel better or to assert their superiority. This can stem from insecurity or jealousy, leading them to bring others down instead of lifting them up. Now, the reasons why criticism is misinterpreted as insult include destructive versus constructive criticism, personal insecurities, cultural and social factors. In some cultures or social circles, criticism is more prevalent and accepted, while in others it is seen as rude or insensitive. Now, to avoid misinterpreting criticism as insult, it is essential to listen actively. Hear the feedback without becoming defensive. Seek clarification. Ask questions to understand the intent behind the criticism. Focus on growth. View criticism as an opportunity to learn and improve. By doing so, we can create a more constructive and supportive environment where criticism is seen as a valuable tool for growth rather than a harmful insult. Ikpante Moses with that comment. Now, more messages. Jude, greetings. Now, I think constructive criticism is the take home here. Although some of our office holders, leaders can be frustrating, this country does not belong to them. Neither does it belong to the led. So, if our office holders are not living up to the expectations, call them out constructively. But trust me, Mr. Jude, some actions of our office holders deserve the insults to go with it. Bright from Omoko. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0007. Now, interestingly, as we're talking about, the criticism of leadership and leaders in Africa, this is another interesting twist to this conversation. Good morning, Jude. Now we're talking about how we are critical of our governments and institutions around this continent. But please, permit me to say this, that the leaders themselves insult the led. This is the reason why we are here. We have been so subjugated over the years, particularly Nigerians, that we fear anything in authority. It is not cultural, Jude. This is because of the military's imposition on basic fundamental human rights. We're still living under the heel. Basically, that's what this person is saying. But he has a point. Or is it she now? Leaders can also insult the led. Now, how do leaders insult the led? Let me share this with you. Now, you see, you have some leaders who are unappreciative of efforts. There's no money in the country. Tighten your belts. Nigerians have been tightening their belts for over 3 decades. Do you feel appreciated? Do you feel appreciated? Some people have called on this station and have said they don't feel recognized by their leaders. They don't know, as much as even their local government councillor. How many of you can boldly walk to their office, knock at the door, and say, I want to see my local government chairman? Hello, Port Harcourt.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. Welcome, please.
Yeah, so this is Blessed from Malo.
Welcome, Blessed. Thank you for joining us.
My brother Jude, pertaining our leaders in this country, either someone insulting them, what you need to do for your people, you are not doing it. And then you say people are insulting you. You don't know that an angry man is an angry man. Whenever there are people expecting something from you, you are not giving them. See what we are doing in this country now, right now. If you are doing good things, they will go to mark you that you are doing bad. If you are doing bad, they are going to welcome you and say you are doing good. So that's where we find ourselves in the country. Imagine that our president, who is the chief commander of the security, see what you are passing through. In terms of the new terrorist group, Lukurawa was their name. Are we supposed to receive any new group of terrorists in this country? We are talking about hunger. New terrorists emerge again. I don't know where we are headed to, where our judiciary has turned things upside down to the country. Before, we normally hear that judiciary court is hope of common man. But right now, judiciary, they are no longer independent because of the corruption.
So that's the question. So that's the question. Let me ask you: Are you
okay? Ask me a question.
So are you okay with the fact that people are always criticizing the government? Do you know how to criticize, or are you one of those people who likes to insult your governor, your leader, your House of Rep member?
See, not by insulting, but something bring out something, my brother. You know. Something happened during the NSAS. People want to do protests in peaceful way, but there was killing occur. Now, the thing that triggered the protest before it escalated the whole federation. Before killing started where and there. Anybody believe that NSAS will occur that way? The answer is no. Our leaders, if you are criticizing them, they are not hearing.
They are not
People
hearing.
like to insult them. Really, I know lack of insulting. No. Are you getting me? I against anything insult, but they should do the needful.
They should do the needful. He doesn't like insults, but they should do the needful. Priya says, until we realize public office holders work for the people and not the other way around, we will continue to have issues in this country. One can criticize or ask questions of his or her employees. They work for us, but they act as though we work for them. Interesting. Now, Anonymous here says sometimes when words soothe or sting, it's because these words are meeting with a story we are already carrying inside of us. I remember when I was single, some people would call me a single bitter feminist and think they were insulting me. I'd laugh because feminist is a description. It's not an insult. And while I knew I wasn't bitter, I was single, but I didn't feel bad about myself for being unmarried. So why would I find certain words hurtful? In the same vein, after I got married, people would still refer to me as that because they didn't know I was married. And it still did not have the capacity to hurt me because I know I am not single or bitter, and a feminist is not an insult to me, but an appropriate description. That's why whenever someone cries to me that they were called barren, I ask her what is really hurting her. Not even a wicked mother-in-law calling a woman barren can make her cry unless it's already a story she's carrying. All right, it's a very lengthy message here, but yeah, you decide how that word soothes or stings you. Now, the difference between criticism and insult is that while criticism talks about policies, programs, and activities of government, insults talks about the person in government. Abiye Senibo. But then again, Abiye, I need to ask you, sometimes even the person in government can come under criticism. Boris, you don't know what you are doing. Yes, that's what somebody said to the former Prime Minister of Britain. Was that an insult? I don't think so. But guess what? On another occasion, he was called an idiot. They called him names. They virtually tried to make him feel bad. They insulted him. The heavens did not fall. So, dear leaders, you're just getting a sample. Do you know the difference between criticism or insults? Some have opined that many of them feel every critical statement is an insult. My name is Jude. We'll take a break. More conversations today. You do not want to miss the 11 o'clock hour. You trust me on this one. You don't.
Stay with